Students, good evening. I was waiting on another same thing, right? So 28/1 to 2026, I came to that. So I was waiting from 7:25. So now I closed that and came back again. So I don't know what happened. It's okay. Right, we'll start. So last time I think I have requested you all to read Japan one that I have already uploaded. So how many of you all went through that PPT? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, madam.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear.
Yeah, so you'll not read the Japan one, right? It's okay. So I have missed one presentation, so I have to complete that, and I will come to the Japan one, right? So this one, actually the second one's part, right? So the simple thing, right? Simple one. So first of all, in the first slide, I told what is comparative education. That is a question, right? So in that way, right, you have to know why comparative education, right? So here you can see, quality of people, their values, culture, beliefs, and practices as a result of educational system. So we are learning the quality of people, right? And access to suitable and quality education in different environments. So we are thinking about quality education. So we are learning from different countries. And last class, we learn about Finland, right? That is the today's best education country. So in that way, right? So comparative education means, right? You all have to understand what are the things in that, right? And specific international educational problems. So we know our problems. Sometimes we don't know what is going on in our country also, right? Here in comparative education, internationally we are thinking of others' problem. What are the educational problems facing by other countries? Why, right? Is that same problem with us, right? How they prevent that, how they overcome that, right? So if it is suitable to us, we also can use that, right? So why we are comparing things, right? If it is better than us, right? While we are comparing the syllabus of maybe grade 9, right? So in other countries, there are some special things in that. So we can use that for our country also, right? And normally when the syllabus and the curriculum is prepared by National Institute of Education, So actually, when they are preparing the curriculum, right, the curriculum developers have to go through at least 10 countries syllabus, right? According to one subject, they have to have the knowledge of at least 10 countries, right? Sometimes they will read more, right? And this is the field of study dealing with comparison of current educational theory and practice in different countries to broaden and deepen understanding of educational problems. So beyond the boundaries of one's own country, the study of comparative education allows the person involved to have a better understanding of the system of education outside their own country. Right? So we know what is happening in our country and the system of our country, right? But we have to think where we are, right? Whether we are globally have a good standard, right? So for that, we have to compare, right? So already you all know, so we are under colonial system of British. So our educational system based on that, still we are having that shape, right? I think a few changes taken place, but the same type of education system is here up to now, right? But UK system now got changed. They have grammar school and O level in A level. A little bit different system is there now. So that here we are having a scholarship in grade 5. So they are also having a common exam to enter grammar schools, right? So the parents are highly motivated to send their children to graduate school. In Sri Lanka, parents they are training their children from grade 2 because they wanted to have a good school, right? In the same way, in England also, the parents are always trying to to enter their child into grammar school. So if that child enter into the grammar school, means that child have a good future, right? Otherwise, so they have to go for the private schools, right? It is very expensive, right? So that type of things. And then even our most of the Sri Lankans are staying there, right? And they migrated to other countries. So in in Canada, right? Because I went, that's what I can exactly say the correct thing. So in one area is full of Sri Lankans. So in that school, right, in a class, half of the students are from Sri Lanka, right? So maybe they are born in Canada, but their parents are from Sri Lanka. So half of the students are from Sri. That means they are now maybe they are Canadian citizen. Anyway, they are from Sri Lanka, right? So they are happy. So they have the culture of our country, and also, but they don't know that they are not using the language of Sri Lanka, but commonly English. But I think at home they are using, right? When the half students of Sri Lankans and half students of Canadian meet, it's also a multicultural setup like Sri Lanka, right? So in a international school in Sri Lanka means it's a multicultural setup. So when we are comparing to other countries, right? So we are talking about international school. So in other countries also having their own mother tongue schools and the international schools, right? So international schools are expensive. In all the other countries also the same, right? So dealing with comparison of current educational theory and practice. Right? Theory and practice means what are the subjects they are having, how they are teaching, what is the methodology they are using, right? Mm, so practice in different countries to broaden and deepen understanding of educational problems beyond the boundaries of one's own country, right? So uh, why we are having this subject in teacher education? Teachers have to have a vast knowledge about education in other countries also, right? Then only we can go up to that level, right? So now we are in the globalized society, globalized world. That means we have to compete with the other countries. So now we can't say we don't know anything about other countries' education system, right? So that is a must. So the study of comparative education allows the person involved to have a better understanding uh, better understanding of the system of education outside their own country. Right. So the objectives of the comparative education, right? So this also can be a question, 5-mark question, right? What is the object? Otherwise, list out, list 5 objectives of comparative education, right? So what is the objective? Why? Right? What for? To describe education system, process or outcomes, and to assist in the development of educational institution and practices. Third one, to highlight the relationship between education and society. To establish generalized statements about education that are valid in more than one country. Right, so when we are going to compare the education system, right, each country have different type of systems. Maybe subjects, right, the duration and the unit, right, and everything is different, right? So because of that, right, even inside the countries also, right? In some countries they are giving freedom to prepare curriculum for schools, right? So then they are having different type of curriculum in inside the country also, right? So we are having a common exam, so we have to have common syllabus, common curriculum. Right? That country might be the evaluation system and things are different, right? So because of that, we have to learn the other country's education system. So why we learn Finland education system? Because they all are admiring that the education system. All are saying that that is the best education system. That's what we are learning. So so if there is any good thing, we can also use that, right? And to help current generation understand the educational system nowadays concerning the past, right? So these are the questions being answered from the comparative education, right? So what are they doing differently? That's what we are. So even in languages we compare. different countries, what are the language they have, what is this their own language, right? So how many languages are using? What is the main language? So in that way, different main countries, from 5 countries, we learn the language issues, right? So what are they doing differently? And what are they doing the same, right? Similarity and differences. And what are the way they are, how they are doing. That means the systems, right? We have a primary, junior secondary, senior secondary, and they are after senior secondary, they are going to enter the university. And we saw in the Finland, right? There are several ways for them to become graduates, but we have only the state universities means one way, right? So nowadays we have non-state universities and private universities in Sri Lanka, right? So now the opportunities are more than earlier, right? So what are we, the way we are, and what can we do differently to be on par with them? This is the most important thing and the need of why we are having comparative education. We have to think, what can we do differently to be on par with them, right? So now we can't say England education system is good. So they are the developed country, right? So so we can't say like that, right? We also can come to that point, right? So the par with them, we have to be the same with them also, right? So so with the help of comparative education, when we are preparing our curriculum, we have to think of our traditions and our students' capacity, right? Language issues, right? Everything we have to consider and prepare the curriculum. So study of the interplay of different disciplines. So these things, history, philosophy, sociology, anthropology, economics, geography, psychology, statistics, literature, political science, international relations. So in these subjects, right, how many subjects are you learning under this study program, right? So the so I and I don't know about the Apex y'all postgraduate students means what is the syllabus y'all have, right? So professional subjects are there, right? And general teaching method, special teaching method, and according to your subject, specialized subject you have to learn, right? Maybe according to the appointment. Maybe if you're a history teacher, you have to learn history teaching methodology, special methods, right? So in that way, here the history is history, geography, economics, political science. Those are the subjects, right? Special subject. But philosophy, sociology, anthropology also coming under philosophy, and psychology, statistics is a subject, right? Math subject, and international relations. These type of things you all are learning under this program, right? So even international relations, under that also, what are the relationship among countries, right? How to develop that? What are the benefits of that relationship, right? In that way, you have to think. So the comparative study of similarities and differences. So when we are comparing, we are considering the similarities and the differences. So evaluation of educational systems, quality of people, their values, culture, beliefs, and practices as a result of the educational system. So through education, what we are expecting, not only the academics, right? So quality of people, right? With values, culture, and good beliefs, right? So schools are there to prepare people like that, right? And access to suitable and quality education in different environments. Access to suitable and quality education. And sometimes our rural students don't have much quality education. That means they don't have national schools, right? And they can't do science stream. So they have to go to a town school to follow, right? So access to suitable and quality education in different environments, international educational problems, right? And a comprehensive evaluation of educational systems and processes as a basis to develop more efficient educational instruction and practices in the Philippines, with emphasis on the relevance between the academic structure and the current shape of society. Right? So, the more efficient educational instruction and practices in the Philippines. So we are going to learn. We are going to see what is the efficient educational instruction available there, right? So right, and so the structure and the current shape of the Philippines, with emphasis on the relevance between academic structure and the current shape of the society. So they are thinking of academic structure and the current shape of the society. So through academic subject also, they are preparing the good people. They are preparing good people for the society. So comprehensive evaluation of educational systems and processes as a basis to develop more efficient educational instruction and practice, right, in the countries, right, each and every country is not only thinking of academic side, they are thinking of good citizens for their country, right? So schools are there to prepare that type of people, right? So because the government is spending so much money in every country, because through education only they can bring up the economics development as well as quality people. So the uses of comparative education, more knowledge, it will give more knowledge, right? Because we are learning different countries' education system, and what are the subjects they are offering, what are the co-curricular activities, what are the extracurricular activities. So in what area they are stressing the students, right? So in that way, we are getting more knowledge and more understanding, more comparative readiness. So when we are comparing, we are thinking, this is, I think it's good, right? More information, more borrowing, we can borrow from them, right? So sometimes you can find syllabuses, foreign syllabuses in the internet. So even through that, we can borrow something, right? So they are not against to that, right? To prepare that. If it is in internet, anyone can use, right? And better leadership, universal theories, enrichment of education, discovering differences, global view, humanitarian ideals, and reliable reaction. So these are the uses of comparative education. That means why we are learning comparative education. We need more knowledge, especially as a teacher, right? You have to have more knowledge and understanding about other countries' education system. So important reasons for studying comparative education, right? So give one reason, give three reasons for studying comparative education, right? So I think your paper, this structure is having that type of questions also, right? So to assist in the understanding of one's educational institutions as well as educational practices, right? But one important reason for studying comparative education to assist in the understanding of one's educational institution as well as educational practices. And the other thing is to assist in the understanding of the factors that are responsible for various educational changes. Third one, to educate the students and teachers on the procedure through which educational changes occur. So first one, understanding of one educational institution. And the second one, understanding of the factors that are responsible for various educational changes. Especially we can think of information technology. Lot of changes took place because of information technology in education system. Right? So even in Sri Lankan education system, lot of information technology things are included into the curriculum. Earlier, we don't have, right? So now children are talking about gamification apps, right? And their smart boards are there, right? And even the teachers, right? So in our master students, they are this involving in preparing program for students, right? So through they have instructional technology in under that subject, they are doing practically in the campus, right? So that means so to educate students and teachers on the procedure through which educational changes occur. So nowadays, without instructional, without technology, the teacher can't survive, right? So the teacher must know how to incorporate information technology into the teaching methods. To contribute not only to the educational development of the society, but also to the general development of the society, right? So we are talking about NASA, America, so that country have these type of things, right? So we are discussing, right? So how we can reach that point, So what they have more than us, right? Through education only we can achieve that, right? So to serve as an academic discipline, right? These are the important reasons for studying comparative education. And to assist in solving one's educational problem. The other side, if you are talking about, right, educational problems, right? So the educational problem means maybe regarding textbook, schools, infrastructure, teacher training college, whether it is pre-service, in-service, right? So educational problems, right? So whether the textbooks are appropriate for the students' level, capacity, right? So to solve educational problems, we must have the knowledge of comparative education. To open one's eyes to the educational philosophies, theories, and practices of other countries. So the philosophies, educational philosophy, you are learning educational philosophy, right? So in the bachelor's level, without philosophy and psychology, there's no bachelor's level, right? Education, philosophical foundation of education, the psychological foundation of education. So how education is related with philosophy and psychology, right? That is very important for a teacher. So that students are, you are not going to teach these subjects, professional subjects in school, right? So why you have this type of subject in education, the teacher training program? Can I have some answers? Why we are having comparative education? Why we are having educational psychology? Why we are having educational philosophy and management, right? Teaching methodology, classroom teaching skills, presentation techniques. Why? Because these jobs, whatever I mentioned, these type of subjects you are not going to teach in school. So why you all are learning?
Madam, I think educational psychology helps us to understand students' different types of behaviors and how to tackle them. And management and those subjects helps us classroom management, uh, those things.
Yes, very good, right? So to be an efficient teacher, we have to understand the student first, right? According to their interest, according to their the learning style, right? According to the situation, according to the subject, you have to teach. So to make you efficient in teaching, these professional subjects will support you. To understand the students, you have to learn psychology, to read the mind of the students. Philosophy, how children will learn, what is the role of the teacher, right? Whatever the philosophy is telling, you're going to teach in the education, right? Education and presentation techniques, classroom teaching skills means how you are going to teach your regarding pedagogy, right? How you are going to teach, what are the things you have to consider, and what type of teaching method you can use, what are the techniques you can use, right? How to present yourself in the classroom. That means to make an efficient teacher, those things are needed, right? So that's it. Even though you are a graduate, right? You know the subject matter, but you don't know how to convey your subject to the students, right? To do that only, you all are learning postgraduate diploma in education or bachelor of education, right? So without that, if you are going to the class, you will find very difficult to control the students. You don't know how to manage students. So there is a subject called classroom management also, right? So the second point, to open one eyes to the educational philosophies, theories and practices of other countries. If you know what are the philosophy, what are the theories behind education, then only you can compare with other countries. Right? These subjects are common to all teacher education programs. Every country is having this subject. Right? So if you are interested, you can check, right? What is the teacher education? Just check the teacher education program in few countries. Definitely you can find philosophy and psychology, those disciplines, right? And to assist both students and teacher of discipline in gathering reliable information concerning educational system, right? So discipline means here they are not thinking of your whatever the conduct or anything. Here discipline means it's a philosophy is a discipline, psychology is a discipline subject, right? Gathering reliable information concerning educational system to assist both students and teachers of discipline in gathering reliable information concerning educational system. So reliable, right? So earlier we don't have these type of opportunities to get information of other countries. Right now, within a minute, within 5 minutes, we can collect all the information regarding other countries. Right. So now we are in information technology era. Right. As teachers, right? Students also can use, teachers also can use, right? So we are going to teach the students, gen students, right? So we have to be prepared ourselves, right? For that, this subject is important. Then only you can discuss with the students, right? What type of education system is there in Japan? Do you all know, right? So you can give a small brainstorm activity. Can you find some information regarding Japan education system, right? So they will find out, right? So, and the teachers are thinking, right? If there is a syllabus, right? So if you complete the syllabus, that is enough. Because you are preparing the students for common exam, it's okay, right? But anyway, they need some more knowledge around the child, right? So now we are in the globalized society. So globalized means not in Sri Lanka only, right? We have to have some knowledge outside, right? So to assist both students and teacher of discipline in gathering reliable information concerning educational system, right? Now, I think now teachers and the students, they know where to get the information, right? What is the reliable resource or source, right? Right. So rationale for studying comparative education. Earlier we say importance, right? Here rationale. So what is the difference between importance and rationale? So when you all are doing research, right, this word is important. Rationale, right? You have to write the rationale by you select this topic, right? And you have to justify, right? why that problem is important to you. So to justify that, you have to write a rationale, right? So rationale for studying comparative education: broaden one's perspective and sharpen one's focus. So now, after the reading lot of things related to more countries, your perspective and the knowledge, focus, everything will be broad, right? That means increasing, right? Understand issues from different perspective in different contexts. So cultural, right? Even the language issue, we touch the cultural thing also. So the originate people, so Aborigines, their way of life and the dress and the language is different, their culture, right? And social, political, how the society is, what is the layer is there, right? And so whether the rich people are more percentage or poor people are more percentage, aged people are more percentage or young people, in that way, social, how the society is, right? In Japan, the age population is more than younger generation, right? So according to that only, they are going to prepare the society, right? So the less number of percentage people have to work more, right? So the country have to think what they can do with aged population, because they have to think of the economical development also, what type of jobs they can offer to them, right? And political. So as you all know, right, education is highly related in Sri Lanka, right? So each and every political party is changing. Even now, I think they are going to introduce new reforms, right, for grade 1 and 6, and they are facing some problems also, right? And those things also you have to know, right? You have to discuss with your students what is happening in the education system, because we are not discussing common items, right? Always we are thinking of we are inside the, right? We are not going outside the box, right? We are always inside, and we are thinking of syllabus only, right? So that is what our students, right, only know the subject, right? So they are facing issues, right, when they are going to work in a place, right? So need to understand the theoretical and philosophical assumption of each country. So every country, our country is a Asian country, and we have a tradition. We are mostly talking about values, right? So based on that only, we are preparing our curriculum, right? And the subjects selecting subject also like that. So need to understand the theoretical and philosophical assumptions. That is philosophical assumptions, right? So philosophy means um, the truth of the life and the education, how it is related, right? And can begin to understand each country's educational practices. So so after comparing only, they are this admiring Finland education, that education good. So they are comparing, right? And what is comparative education, right? So in the first presentation, we learned the meanings and definitions and all. Here, it's just an explanation. Draws on multiple disciplines: sociology, political science, psychology, anthropology. Examine the role education plays in the individual and national development. So the role education plays in the individual and national development. If we are developing the individual people, that means that is what we are doing in the schools. So it will further develop the national development, right? It is the basic of national development, because the students are going to work and for the economic development. So with the economic development, the nationally, the country will develop. Examine how societal values influence attitudes about how we educate. Right? So if a person is so how we are judging a person is educated? So are we always carrying our certificates or displaying certificates to show that we are educated?
No.
So how people think that you are an educated person?
By the way we conduct,
Yes?
by our conduct, like how we carry ourselves.
Yes, how you are behaving, how you are communicating, how you are helping others, right? How your personality, right? From that only people will respect you. So even though if you have PhD, right, if your behavior is not good, right, and you don't know how to talk, no, you don't know how to teach, no one will going to respect you. People will not bothered about your highest education, right? So the paper qualification, paper is something, but we need to get a job now. That's what they are issuing a certificate. But it doesn't mean that you are a quality person, right? So quality person means they are judging with your character, right? Behavior. So nowadays, right, you are sending your CV, right? They will call you according to the qualification. That means they are going through the CV and asking you to come. But mostly now they are not checking the certificate and asking general knowledge questions, right? So they are giving tasks and they are expecting something new, right? They are interviewing in different way, right? So, so why they are? You can see the change, right? Earlier, the interview means we have to memorize general knowledge questions because they used to ask those questions. But now it is not, right? On the spot, they will give you a task. You have to, how you're dealing with that, how you're managing, right? What is the prompt answer from you? Those are the things they need. How you're making decisions, right? Those things are. So even that also comparing with other countries, right? So so now why our university is sending lecturers to do PhD in another country? Earlier, of course, we can say we don't have much opportunities and there are no facilities. That's what they are sending. But now there are a lot of PhD programs are available in Sri Lanka. But anyway, most of the state universities, they are sending the lecturers for overseas to do the PhD. They also like to go to the go to another country and do the PhD, right? So why? So that is also another comparison. From that country, the person will learn a lot of things, and they are expecting that that person will bring to our country and use, right? Maybe maybe new knowledge, right? So exchanging knowledge from another country. The people who are going with the scholarships, the government is spending such a huge amount on them. Free, everything free for them. They are paying them, they paid leave, right? And they can take their family. Commonwealth scholarship means, so they can take the family and they can spend 2-3 years there, and but they are signing a bond to come back, but most of the people are not coming, right? So they can earn a lot there, so they are paying the bond money and they are staying back, right? So so is there any benefit of our basic education, right? So they don't want to serve to their own country, right? So the patriotism is not there. So even the patriotism we have to give through education. So Japan people have patriotism. They are they love their country. They will do anything to their country. Right? They are not wasting anything. Right? They are thinking that social responsibility is very high there. That's what they are. They came from after Second World War, right? They lost everything, but within a short period, they got the same earlier development because of that, right? So even so, when for that only we are learning what is Japan education system, what they are doing, what are the subjects they have, right? And so in that up to grade 3, they are teaching attitudes. Why? But we have our syllabus to do, right? So in that way, we are thinking, right? They examine how societal values influence attitudes about how we educate, right? And what is the purpose of education? Right? So automatically, right? When a child come to the age of 6, we know that we have to send that child to the school. Automatically, we are sending. But, right, even after grade 3, why we are coming to school, what is our ambition? Teacher have to explain to the child, right? So for that, you need to learn other countries' education system, what they are doing, how they are guiding the students, right? What are the extra activities they are giving to know their own potential, right? So is education a benevolent agent of change? Is education a mirror of the larger society, manifesting through its structure, curriculum, and pedagogy inherent inequalities, right? So that why we are doing research to know these things, right? So so if we are comparing our grade 9 book and another country's grade 9 book, so when we are selecting other country, right, we used to think the best, right? Then only the comparison will be benefit. So we can adapt so many things from that country. Sometimes when we are comparing, our syllabus may be good than the other country. So then we will be happy, right? So do educational practices maintain social status, right? So do educational practices maintain social status? So educational, it is yes, right? So according to our educational qualification only, we are getting the status, right? And education and culture, through the culture is the hands-on activities in education, right? Through education, we are giving the culture, right? Education plays an important role in national progress and globalization. Comparative education provides an opportunity to study foreign cultures and their educational systems. Comparative education allows you to examine and appraise your own culture and educational system, analyze home culture systems, and compare with others. So the comparative education is start from home, right? The parents are comparing their own children with other children in school, right? It's in the same class, right? So from that comparing is starting, right? Then only later we are comparing the education of two countries, right? And we are comparing with neighbors. They are rich, they are having this car and we don't have, right? So comparing is our day-to-day life activity. Comparative education allows you to examine and appraise your own culture and educational system, analyze home cultures, systems, and compare with others. And comparative education as a field, it is a field of study, no, it's a discipline, a subject. Comparative education is a field, not a discipline. Discipline dedicated to a specific set of rules and standards. Field draws on various disciplines to understand the complexity. So here under comparative study, we are learning so many disciplines. Political, social, we are comparing political side, society, and education system. There are a lot of disciplines under comparative education. It's a complex thing. So that's what they're calling as a field of study. Extends and deepens our understanding of the world, helps educators decide what issues are important, what factors should be considered to improve education. So these things are the important part of this comparative education. Why we have to concentrate on comparative education? Like most of the students used to say comparative education, sometimes it's difficult and and it's boring sometimes, right? So why we are gathering information from other countries, right? And checking whether we have or not, right? So if it is the other countries better than us, we are borrowing from them. If our education system is the best thing, they are going to borrow from here. Earlier, that happened, right? Maldives, Singapore, Malaysia borrowed from Sri Lanka. Earlier, we had a good system and well-educated persons. Even the schools are very good, right? Even recently, I think up to 2020, right? So the Maldives students are coming to NIE to learn management, right? So don't know whether now they are coming, right? So that even when I did my PhD, right? So one more Maldivian students, 3 Maldivian students are there, right? They also did PhD with me, right? And our Sri Lankans also there. So that means they are coming to do the higher studies because they are thinking Sri Lankan education is good, right? Our people are migrating by they are thinking that country education is good, right? So so when I went to Canada, I met so many people, that means Sri Lankans as well as foreigners, right? I went visited few universities also. So I asked the question, right? Y'all can feel, right? Of these education systems, right? Uh, so so there are a lot of things, right? The parents are suffering because Canada is very cold, right? I think for 6 months is very pathetic, but they like to stay there because of their children's future. That's what I heard from them. For the children, and they are happily going to the school and doing lot of community things and doing lot of projects with universities, even though they are in the school, right? The broad knowledge they are grabbing, right? In that way they are happy, right? So when I spoke to the students also, they told the same thing, right? The one student went in grade 5, after grade 5 scholarship, right? So she also told earlier, when I'm going to the Sri Lanka, that girl is from Kegol. So I used to carry a lot of books, and the teachers are this reading and giving lot of homework. Uh, so always we are with the book, reading and answering, and it's highly competitive, right? But here it is not competitive. We are not comparing with others' marks, and we are not bothered about other marks, because we know that if we are doing the work, and the teachers also very friendly with us, and we are doing lot of outside work, right? No, we are not only sitting and studying inside the classroom, and the so in that country they don't have this A-level barrier, that exams like. So they can enter the university, and the university study education, of course, very tough. So most of the students, but there are a lot of venues. So if they can't fit for one side, they can change, right? So that facilities are there, right? But education is always tough, right? We have to learn. So the standards, every country is maintaining their standards now, right? So we are uh, speaking about standards means then we must know what they are doing, right? So what type of standards they have, what is the quality of that country's education, right? Mostly they are job oriented education, this skill based education, and so the uh, so once we went to the university, there The first number one university is Toronto University, and the second one is Queen's Smith University. So, uh, anyone can go inside. There's no barrier or no security or anything. So they are very friendly, right? So when so we met one professor, and just we had a small discussion. So that professor only asked, what can we do for y'all? Why y'all are here? Like, so then we told that we are from Sri Lanka and we just came to. I just wanted to see the structure and what they are doing, because I'm also working in a campus now. So some I can bring some knowledge to the campus, right? So I have brought so many things, right? And I explained to our management also. And so that professor told Sri Lankan students are very bright. They can memorize very well. But we are providing our students to invent, innovate, to find something new, right? So Sri Lankan students are now with us, right? So they are doing well, like in that way. So the different is the skill. Even I think now Sri Lankan government also identified that, right? So in this, one of my sister's daughter's daughter, right, entered the Cambridge University, right? So it's a very pride thing, no, that university is a very number one university now. Don't know whether it is number one, but anyway, it's a prestige university in UK. So that girl also went from the grammar school. So they had a exams like scholarship, and from that she entered to the grammar school. From that school only she entered. After 13 years, one student went to Cambridge, it seems, right? So our students, they know how to learn, right? They are studious, and particular that my niece, she is very quiet, right? And always with the, he is only in studies. He's not doing anything, but that country's students are not like that, right? So they are limited, right? They are doing studies, they are enjoying, and they are doing sports, and they are doing a lot of things, right? So that is the different from our students and other students, right? And historical stages of development. So this is also important. Now in language issues, right? We learn from the beginning, right? What they are doing, how their life started, right? So now the Aborigines and the native people are living aside, right? So almost languages also, so many languages are not using now. So all are thinking, the common language is English, means all are learning English, right? So changing, right? So traveler's tales, observation of cultural practices and customs, educational borrowing, 19th century observation of foreign school system, identify useful techniques, practices, systematic scientific study, 20th century, examine forces space shaping foreign educational system, use quantitative methods to explain education, period of international cooperation, today cooperation necessary for world harmony. if we are talking about education, right, lot of research done by UNESCO. UNESCO is a non-governmental organization, and that organization is helping all the countries, right, especially for poor countries. The UNESCO is helping, and even in Sri Lanka, they had done a lot, right? So why they are doing the service in the poor country, they are comparing with other countries, right? So every country in the globalized world, right, the poor country also have to come up. That's what they are helping. World Bank is helping. Why? Right? And the perspective of comparative education, focus on concepts and theories. Explain educational phenomena by considering cultural, philosophical, and historical context. Normative. Examine differing value positions. Develop own values about education. Critical. Develop ability to question contradictions and inconsistencies in educational beliefs, policies, and practices. Right. So, we are normally, if we don't have any exposure, we are not going to compare anything, no, right? Even so, I have been I went to Japan, right? I went to Thailand and South Korea, Canada, right? So I'm comparing that 4 countries, right? So how the life is, how the people, how the quality of life, I'm comparing, right? So why? So I'm thinking why that different, right? So likewise, right? Even the curriculum developers also, right, going through a lot of curriculums of other countries, then they can compare and select the best one for us, right? We can't copy the whole thing. According to our requirement, our tradition, our culture, we have to prepare our own curriculum. So normative, develop own values about education, and critical. Develop ability to question contradiction and inconsistencies and educational beliefs, policies, and practices. So now we have to think our students have to compete with other countries' students, right? So the comparative education is important. We must know what is going on in other countries. So if it is when we are comparing only, we can make a standard, right? Benchmark. So if we are keeping a benchmark, no, so the Finland is the best means. So we are also thinking to reach that education. That means Finland is the benchmark for us, right? And comparative perspective taking, expand understanding beyond own localized perspective, cross-cultural investigation. So cross-culture. Now, a lot of programs are going like cross-cultural. Our students are going there, and that country students are coming here, exchanging programs, right? Make sense out of the new or unknown by comparing to own frame of reference, multiple interpretation of the issues, avoid dichotomous thinking. Right, so dichotomous means you're dividing into 2 different thinking, right? Widen conceptual lenses, develop the critical thinking and skills of a global citizen. So this is also one point why we are learning comparative education. Develop the critical thinking skills of a global citizen. right? So now we are Sri Lankan citizens, but we have to think as global citizens. And systematic critique and reflection must accompany curiosity, right? So just think, right? If you are comparing the neighbors, right? Sometimes it may go negative, and sometimes it can be a positive thing also. We also wanted to come to that state, right? So why parents are always comparing their students and pressing them to become a doctor, engineer, accountant? Why they are comparing, right? Because according to that position, their life will be different. Their status will be high. And value of comparative education alerts students to enduring social questions, helps teachers function as citizens of their countries as well as citizens of a global society, right? So now we are talking about global students, global citizens, global society. Encourages spirit of exploration, transcending local boundaries. Awareness that educators in different parts of the world are wrestling with similar issues. All are fighting to why we are suffering, why we are working, why we are earning to uplift our life standard. Right? Educators are part of a global professional community. And benefits of comparative education. View education from multiple perspectives. This is what we need. View education from multiple perspectives. This country's education is like this, and this country's. So we are learning 5-10 countries, right? Those are the different perspectives, right? Contribute to social change and educational process. Foster international understanding. Right, so here you can see in this picture, the cultures are different. You can see the color is different. Their dress is different, right? So we are understanding, right? Understanding the international, that means different countries' perspectives. Opportunity for global cooperation and critique. Right, so this is also a part of the lesson 2, right? So that means what are the things we have to understand in that subject, right? And importance, need, and what are the aspects is there, right? Those things. Right, so now we'll move to Japan.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can I share this presentation, please?
Huh?
Can you please share this PPT?
Yes, I will. So, have we started the Japan last week? No. Right, just see whether huh? Yes,
Madam.
complete everything. So just check whether we have done this. Senior high school, higher education, university, cultural and social aspect of Japanese education, discipline and respect, international education in Japan, challenges and criticism, pressure and mental health, Who is in charge of education? Diagram of education phases. Can you remember? Right. If we completed this, we can go to the Sri Lankan education system. Early childhood education begins at home. So junior high school, general information, go to public and private. And so here you can see high school classroom. And what would you do in Japan? Business and industrial courses are very popular, and accounting is on a top courses as well. Some basic academic courses are strictly required. Japanese language, English, mathematics, and science.
Excuse me, ma'am. We still see the previous presentation.
Yeah. Yes.
We still see the previous presentation, ma'am, not the Japanese one on the screen.
Uh-huh. That's what so last week I uploaded whatever we did, and I upload one presentation. Then I ask you all to read and come, no, right? So so I thought it is a Japan presentation. So we have done this, right? So here, see the number of 600.
600.
Yes,
Yes.
I can't hear you. Can you repeat it again, please?
Miss, right, ma'am. Right now, you are sharing your screen, right? This is this is not the Japanese one. We are still seeing the one that you taught us just now.
Oh, sorry, I didn't share the presentation. Sorry, I couldn't get
You
it
can see
right.
only
Okay,
the
okay, right. I will share that. Great. Can you see now?
Yes, ma'am. We can.
So just so I'll just hear this one, lecture 5, right? A model of education for economic development, right? Pre-primary education. So I think we this compare with Finland also, right? 3 to 6 year olds, 6 to 12. This is something different, no? 12 to 15 years old, 15 to 18-year old senior high school. So this structure is different from Finland and even if we are compared to Sri Lanka also, it is different. High education university, 18 to 20-year-old. So see, the admission entrance to university is highly competitive. So it's like us. Usually requires passing the national center test for university admission, followed by specific university exams. So they have entrance exam, university entrance exam. All the other countries, the developed countries have that university entrance exam, right? And the cultural and social aspect of Japanese, international education in Japan, challenges and criticism, pressure and mental health. So high academic pressure in Japan, right? So we are thinking our A-level education is a barrier and mental, it's highly pressure, but even Japan education also the same, right? Gender and social inequality. So while education is highly valued in Japan, there are occasional concerns about gender equality, with certain societal expectation about career choices and roles. So the same with us, right? Gender differences. This for the same job, the male will be paid more and less pay for female. And declining birth rate and aging population. Right? Japan's aging population is declining birth rate have led to a decrease in the student population, resulting in changes to school structures and educational policies. Right? So they are finding issues with aged population. So this is the structure phases: kindergarten and nursery school, elementary, junior high school and universities and colleges, right? So in our country, kindergarten and nursery school is different from our school, right? A school is not attached with this. So they are calling primary as elementary, primary, junior high school, university and colleges. We are having primary, junior secondary, senior secondary, and universities and colleges. Education involves in family, society, and the world. Early childhood education begins at home. Numerous books and TV shows help mothers to preschool children to educate their children and to parenting more effectively. So they are producing TV shows, education purposes, right? I think we have done this. Who teaches and runs preschool, elementary school, where to go for elementary. About 1% of the schools are private, which are costly. See, only 1% private schools are there, right? All the other schools are government schools. Even in Finland, the same, right? But the public schools, in Sri Lanka, nowadays international schools are increasing number of international schools, and private schools are there, government schools are there, right? So in the junior high school, you can see 2 masters are there, right? So 12 to 15 only they are focused on academic studies. Majority of junior high schools are public schools, but there are still very few private schools which can be very expensive, maybe 4 to 5 times more than public. So then people is difficult to find the pay fees, so all are preferring government schools. So here, English classroom in Japan. Situation of English education. English is very popular among people. Both school and society take it seriously. Ability to communication is still not ideal. Reading and writing are much better than spoken English. But now, right, yeah, the government, the Japan students also like to learn in English, and they are coming. So you can see a lot of Japan students, Chinese students in Canada. So they wanted to learn in English, right?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Oh, yes.
Actually, we did half only Japanese one. We did half, I think. I can remember like that.
Half.
Yes, ma'am. I think 20.
Really?
20,
That's what I
yes.
thought I have to do Japan, right? Otherwise, I could have started the Sri Lankan education system. So Sri Lankan education system, of course, it's very familiar with us now. It's easy, right? So yes, right. Um, so it's so I think this one, from this one only we stopped in half because we did Finland also, no, right?
Actually, ma'am, we stopped it with the Japanese region actually. Only half we could do last week,
Yes,
last time.
right. So we'll
So,
continue with this. So teachers and students, junior high school. Now you can see that, see the slides, no?
This
no,
is
ma'am, we can see
Yeah,
the earlier one, not the Japanese one.
right. So junior high school teachers usually teach the subject based on their major. Most of them are 4-year college graduates. So that is also you have to consider.
ma'am, excuse me.
Yeah,
We cannot see, ma'am.
all right.
This is previous one.
What about now? Teachers and students. Can you see this slide?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. So here, this point you have to take into consideration. Most teachers, they are talking about teachers. Junior high school teachers usually teach the subject based on their major. So in Sri Lanka also the same now, right? So science graduates will teach science subjects. Maths graduates will teach maths subjects. So commerce or management, they are teaching the particular major subject, no, right? Major area. And most of them are 4-year college graduates, right? So the most of and 35 students per class on average. This is also another one, 35 students only. Right? In our country, you can see the disparities, right? So we are thinking in the rural areas, there will be more students, right? But it is not, right? The number of students are very less in some schools. But in the urban, especially in the popular schools, lot of parallel classes, right? Even though 7, 8 parallel classes, it's very crowded. Sometimes more than 40, 45, right? Homeroom teacher is assigned to each class and he will serve as counsel as well. So this is not, so the room teacher, that type of teacher is not available in Sri Lanka. So this is an additional teacher, right? So even in our primary classes, even in grade 1, sometimes only one teacher is assigned. Right? In some private schools, assistant teacher will be there, right? So actually, this controlling the grade 1 is very difficult. But nowadays, of course, the children are attending preschool, so they are normal. So the teacher can have some sort of control. But earlier, right? So when we are small, right? So the grade 1 students are screaming, crying, running behind the parents. So crying, continuously crying, right? So the teacher is having real this. Actually, those teachers are very tired after 11:30, 12, right? So here this is also a good thing. No, a homeroom teacher. The name also different. Assigned to each class, and he will serve as a counselor as well, right? So even in Japan also, they are thinking of guidance and counseling counselor. So the children are having problem, right? Every country, every school, right, have children, and children have problem, right, because of the lifestyle of the parents, right? So this is a good point, right, which we don't have in Sri Lanka. In Finland, of course, guidance and counseling is available from grade 1 itself, right? And do you like to move or stay? The teacher, rather than the students, move to a new room for each 50-minute period. So this is also a different thing now. Teacher is moving or students are moving. In Sri Lanka, teacher is only moving, not students, right? They are stagnant in one class. The teachers are moving. Here, both taken place. Teacher, rather than the students, move to a new room for each 50-minute period. And 50-minute period, how much time we have for a period?
35 to 40.
Yeah, 30, 35, 40, sometimes for the primary 1 hour, right? So here 50 minutes. That is also different. These are the things we have to learn, right? And so 50-minute period, how they are managing, right? We are managing 35 minutes period or 40 minutes period. But here, how they are managing 50-minute period, right? We have to learn that. Different teachers for different subjects. That of course same with Sri Lanka, no? which means students would have a different teacher each class by staying in the same classroom. Different teachers for different subject, which means students would have a different teacher each class by staying in the same classroom. So here teachers are staying in the classroom and the students are moving according to their subject. That is also different in some regions. I think they are following that. So what to learn? The curriculum covers Japanese language, social studies, mathematics, science, music, fine arts, health and physical education. So you can see some difference in the subjects also. So Japanese language, we are also having our mother tongue, no? Right? Right. Social studies, we have mathematics, we have science, right? Music, right? It's a basket subject. Fine arts, maybe art, right? Not Oriental music, Carnatic music, fine arts, dancing, right? Candid dancing, Bharatanatyam, health and physical education. Right? So what are the subjects we have more than this? Here there's no religion. We have religion as a subject, right? And English. Here there's no English language subject. We have second national language. Here they didn't mention, we have, right? So that difference are there. Moral education and special activities continue to receive attention. So moral education, they have, but we don't have, right? So in our curriculum, they are saying value education and moral education embedded with other subjects, right? So after school sports club or classes are popular among many students. So after school sports club or classes is there, right? High school, it is not compulsory in Japan. Most of students will go to high school anyway. High schools are not free. Family may spend 3,000 USD for a child each year. So it's very expensive. The number of private high school is much bigger than private junior high school. It usually costs twice as high as a public high school. So private schools are very expensive. Here you can see it's a well-developed classroom, right? Courses offered, academic courses for students preparing for higher education, technical and vocational courses for students expecting to find employment after graduation. Vocational technical programs include several hundred specialized courses. Information processing, navigation, fish farming, business, English, and ceramics. So what would you do in Japan? Business and industrial courses are very popular. And accounting is one of top courses as well, right? So we are always talking about math, science, medicine, right? That type of things. Here, business and industrial courses are very popular. Accounting is one of the top courses as well. So they are going in that business side. Some basic academic courses are strictly required. Japanese language, English, mathematics, and science, compulsory. So what is the way you like best to learn? Teachers are university graduates. Teach in major fields they specialize. Teaching depends largely on the lecture system, with the main goal of covering the very demanding curriculum in the time allotted, right? So you can see some differences from Finland, right? Here, the lecture system is highly appreciated. They also wanted to complete the syllabus. Approach and subject coverage tends to be uniform, especially in the public schools. Special education is always an important part. Training of handicapped students, emphasizing vocational education to enable students to be as independent as possible in the society. Priority for them, they are giving training. So especially they are training, they are giving vocational education. That means job-oriented courses. So there are about 600 popular universities and college, right? We have only 20, right? So there are about 600 popular universities. 4-year learning to earn bachelor's degree. Public universities are comprised of national universities and local universities. Half of the universities are private. So private means you have to pay. What would you do for your university life? Business, law, accounting, engineering, humanities, and education are popular fields in universities. So even here, science, medicine, dental, veterinary, those things are not here, right? Agriculture. So business, law, accounting, engineering, humanities, and education are popular fields in universities. The average cost, tuition fees, and living expenses for a year of higher education in Japan is very high. Part-time jobs, loans, scholarship, non-profit cooperation, and the other institution could be some choices for students. Right, so the part-time job, of course, we don't have, right? So loans, scholarship, non-profit cooperation, and other institution could be some choices for students. So University of Tokyo, Kyoto University, Waseda University are among the very popular ones. English education in Japan, it reflects the development of Japan just like a mirror. Strategic consideration on English education in Japan in the 21st century expects to boost its development furthermore. Here you can see an English classroom in Japan. A lot of students are learning. Situation of English education, very popular among people. Both schools and society take it seriously. Ability of communication is still not ideal. Reading and writing are much better than spoken English, right? So I also have been there. They can't speak English, one or two. So they are also not, they can't communicate correctly, right? So, but anyway, they are managing, right? How would you like to learn foreign language? Individual tutoring, school study, and training classes after school are popular ways of learning English since preschool. English as one of the major courses starts since junior high school up to high school. 6 years in total as required course subjects. So English as one of the major courses starts since junior high school up to high school. So it's like Sri Lanka, now they are starting from grade 1 itself. Earlier, in Sri Lanka also started from grade 3, 4, right? English is still popular and important courses in universities. Some of the universities require 3 more years to continue studying English. So that means it is not much developed in English, right? Okay, students. Sorry for the delay, right? I was there in the portal. I don't know what happened. Then after that, I went back again and came, right? He phoned me, so I'm waiting for students. So then only I came to know that you all are there. Sorry for that. So the thing is, tomorrow, I won't be able to do the class because in our campus we have Thai Pongal Day up to 8:30. So I'm the in charge person for that, so I have to be there, right? So um, so are you all free on another day? So I can do that class. Have you got classes every day?
No, no, we don't have
No,
like
ma'am.
that.
We don't have.
So when you all are free?
Mm. So far, we haven't got any other
Only
lectures.
Wednesday and Thursday you all are having?
Not like
No, no,
that,
we
ma'am.
randomly
Huh?
decide and post it in the group. So
Mm.
yeah. If they don't,
Right. I'll no. If you prefer any day, I can do on that day.
It's okay,
Uh,
ma'am. You can decide with our.
yeah, yes, ma'am. You can decide and
right.
let us
I
know.
will speak to the management and I'll. But anyway, we are having classes next week, Wednesday, Thursday, no problem. Right? Do this class before that, or even I can if there's no way to do that because the Wednesday I think Wednesday Independence Day, it doesn't matter, no, right? It's a public holiday, uh, so Wednesday.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you share the previous presentation, not the Japanese one, the one that you started the session with?
Second, no. Yeah. Okay, I didn't get the February timetable, right? So I think they will skip that date. We'll see, right? So this day, definitely I will take on another day. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, can
Right.
you share
So in the
the
last,
previous presentation?
now I will upload the PPT and the last class we'll try to do some questions, past papers, right?
Oh,
Okay, ma'am.
Uh, Right, so I didn't get the February timetable. Have you all got the February timetable?
Not
Because I
yet.
think they are having the convocation and things, no, so they are be busy. Okay.
we don't get it like that, like in
Ah,
advance. Like we
ah,
decide it and share it.
right. Okay. Right. Good night, students. So then tomorrow there will be no class. I will inform the management also.
Good night, madam.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
Uh,
Good
right.
night,
I
madam.
will.
PPT.
Yeah. I will upload the presentation.
Presentation.
Good
Okay.
night.
It's loading. Right? very slow. So have you got that presentation?
No, madam, no. Still, we
No, no.
didn't see that.
Not.
Yeah.
But all right, I will put again there. Check, Madhushan, can you check whether you received it?
Yes, madam. It's there now.
You got it, no?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Good night.
Good night, madam. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Okay, right. So we'll meet next.